Right. So, as far as the Guidewire integration is concerned, because in the last session we have discussed about XML, we have discussed about API integration. Okay, we have discussed even about integrating with Policy Center with claims billing. Right. So that part we have discussed already earlier. Now today I'm going to discuss about web services because web services is something which is important when we are working on integration part. When we are integrating with any internal or external systems we are integrating, even web services is also required from the developer perspective. Now when we try to understand about the web services, especially from the Guideware, uh, there are different types of web services we have, because there are some categories, I can say more or less, like there are various types of web services, and each and every web services have some different roles and all, so that there are some few key service categories we have. Okay, that is something which uh, we must be knowing. Okay, so service categories under web services we have. So today we are going to discuss about what are those service categories. Okay, the first one about policy CRUD operations, which is the first one. Second one is called claim services. Third one is called underwriting services. Fourth one is called rating and pricing. Next one is called customer data services. Okay, these are the major uh, key service categories, especially in web services normally, which normally we use it. The first one about policy CRUD operations. Whenever we are going to create any kind of policies, especially normally this is something which will be allows to create a new policy in the policy center. At the same time, even if you want to update any kind of policies by updating existing policy details, such as any kind of changes in the policyholder coverage or limits or something. As far as the get policy is concerned, means if you want to retrieve any policy information based on the identifiers, like such as any policy number or a customer ID, or if you want to delete any existing policy from the policy center, which is of course which is not happen all the time, but when and wherever it is needed, everything comes under the policy CRUD operations. Second, about the claim services, when we are going to create any claims based on the policy or external as well as input, or if you are updating an existing claim status or details, or if you are going to retrieve any kind of claim data based on the claim ID, everything comes under the claim services part. Third one about underwriting services. Underwriting services majorly allows to allows external systems to send data to policy center for any kind of underwriting decisions, which also involves evaluating the policy based on the risk factors and retaining the underwriting decisions. Everything are comes under underwriting services. Next one about rating and pricing, because when we are calling an external rating engines or services to calculate any kind of premiums for policy based on various factors. Uh, for example, I can say like coverages or any kind of limits or customer details, all that. Along with this, if you are to get any kind of similar get rates focused on providing a kind of quotation to the customer without binding the policy, everything comes under rating and pricing part. When it comes to the customer data services are concerned, majorly when we are creating any kind of customer, we want to create a new customer for any policy or allowing updates to customer details, or if you want to retrieve a customer information, everything are comes under customer data services. So these are the key service categories which are part of web services as far as the Guidewire integration is concerned. From the development perspective, we should be knowing, because as far as the API is concerned, whichever the kind of API are we using, either it can be RESTful API is majorly we use RESTful API, Web API, SOAP API or something. So these are the service categories we must be knowing. See, these are the service categories we must be good and familiar with.